him. I just asked him what his background was, and first he told me it was top secret, and then he told me he's been in the Army. So, glad to have him here. I do know he runs the entire Monterey market. He's one of the top executive directors in that market. And so please help me welcome to the front of the room, Mr. Chris Ward.
Songs? It doesn't matter if it works or not. My voice will carry.
All right. Thank you very much. I tell you what, they say never compare yourselves to other people, but I do it all the time, so bad on me. But last week I did a presentation in San Francisco, and there was 10 people in the room. And I tell you what, and just like what Mr. Olson says, he says, whenever I look at a marketplace, I look, one is, do they have a weekly training? And two, he said, you can tell how the organization is growing based on the leadership. So give your leaders and your volunteers in this market a round of applause. They've done an incredible job. I've been given the honor. I'm going to be really getting off the stage, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time up here. Yes, I was in the Army for about 11 years, and I'm no longer in the military. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was fun, but I checked out. I did 4 years overseas. It was something I didn't see myself doing anymore. When I saw the prepaid legal associates going overseas, that was the kind of life I wanted, and I took advantage of that. Twice this year, I was in Cancun back in June, and then because my mother loves me, she took me in October back to Cancun, so I got to do 2. So it's really just my duty to inform you, not so much what Players Club is, but why Players Club. So if you're looking up on the board, this is easy to take notes down, all right? First of all, to get Players Club, what it is an incentive that was brought about by the company in order to kind of give you a sort of a check mark, a little milestone every single month that you can follow that shows that you're still doing the do. You're following the right activity, all right? Now, I always look around at Players Club because I didn't understand Players Club. The very first year, if you looked at my persistency every month with Players Club, it looked like binary code. It was like 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, But I didn't really take it to heart, And so one time, it was actually a year into my business, I get on the phone, and I got to talk with Ms. Daring, and I said, Mr. Hepner and myself kind of had the same kind of start in prepaid legal services. I didn't have a background in the industry. This was really my first network marketing experience. But I said, he's as broke as I am. So how did he get past it? And I tell you, I was really surprised because I was expecting him to give me some secret, some sauce, that I'm talking to him. It's about 10 o'clock at night. And he says, Chris, Players Club, are you consistent? And I said, well, no, I'm in and out, in and out. He goes, that's why your business is not building. He said, what do you want on your team? You want a team that produces, providing overrides for you? I said, absolutely. He said, well, you've got to do it for somebody else first. All right? And that really hit hard. And I'll tell you, since that day, I've been on Players Club for 29 months. Since that conversation. All right? Now, there's been those days that it's the last day of the month, it's 11:30 a.m., and I'm on the phone with ex-girlfriends talking about getting a membership. So I definitely know what it means to get your Players Club accomplished. Yeah, don't act like y'all don't call those people. Last day of the month saying, I got to get my Players Club done, so let me in. So Players Club, essentially, this is something you really got to take to heart. If you want to build a big business, use this as a milestone. And the reason why I think it's such incredible recognition is because this is something that every single person can do. I have Dave Paperno, the top group producer out in California, and so I get to look at his numbers every single month. And I can't usually, it's kind of hard for me and him to kind of stand next to each other. And he's like, well, I just wrote 350 memberships this month. How'd you do? Wait, 5? But when he says, hey, I'm Dave Paperno, I'm Players Club, and I'm like, hey, so am I. Does that make sense? Don't you feel a little bit better when you're kind of talking to each other? Because you know you're doing the do. Except for the fact that he makes, a lot more money than I do. All right? So, as you look up on the board, so whenever you write a membership, you get a point. All right? When you recruit one person, you get a point. When you fast start qualify that brand new person, you get 2 points. Now, unlike back in the past, whenever you place a person deep in your organization, you still get the 2 Players Club points whenever you place them. All right? So that way somebody else is not getting credit for your hard work. Now understand, look at the 2 things that we get from this. One is once you're consistent over a 12-month period of time, you get into that 13th, 14th month Players Club, and you have a good persistency, which you have to be at least 75% or greater. The company's going to reward you with $300 a month extra in cash. All right? And I tell you what, a lot of people don't even think that that's the big money, but I've got a couple, a friend of mine, that they've been married 3 years, and they never were able to take their honeymoon. And they said, well, Chris, we can't afford it. I said, Players Club. That's the way you can, one, afford it, and two, let the company pay for your trip. And that's the other incentive. So you get a cash incentive, but the company is also going to pay for you and one other person to go to some luxurious place around the world. I know several people like Anna Brooks and myself, and Miss Melville. I'm trying to see, I'm dyslexic. I've had too much coffee. So essentially, we get to party. Me and my mom getting to go on vacation to Cancun together. It was her first time overseas. All right, and I wish she would stayed inside more so she didn't see what I'm like, out in Cancun. But it was incredible. So so really that's what Players Club is. So all I want to say is internalize Players Club, make it a part of your monthly mission to be a part of the Players Club, and watch as your business grows and it starts to duplicate in your organization. All right? Can I get a yes? Yeah. All right, good. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to really welcome back up my mentor. This person really is somebody that, it's funny, is at one point in our business, there was 3 executive directors between me and her. And all of them are now no longer in the business. All right? But as I grew, she kind of took me under her wing, and that just shows the incredible leadership that she didn't just let me fall by the wayside, but she still reaches deep into her organization and works with people. So it really gives a true testament to what kind of a leader she is. And traveling around the country and working with her team when a lot of people, they won't even take calls from their team. All right, so that just says a lot about this young lady. So to close out the evening, I'd like to give another warm round of applause for Ms. Kai Deering.
All right, I got to tell you, Christopher Ward is an incredible trainer, isn't he great? Yeah. So you'll have to get him out here on his own. I know he loves to come out and visit his family. So just been so blessed to be able to work with you. Thank you so much. You did a great job. So please give it up again for Mr. Chris Ward. I'll just show you, it leads into the session that we're going to talk about today, which is really retention. And Players Club, actually, my husband paid for our wedding, and so I told him I would pay for the honeymoon. Thank goodness. I also used my Players Club for our honeymoon. I'll also tell you that Players Club is incredible because you also get free leads. Anybody here ever gotten a free lead from corporate? I mean, that's like incredible. You get one of those and makes it all worth it. But all of our incentive programs are contingent upon your retention. He alluded to that by saying you need to have at least 75% retention, and we're all in it for the long haul. Would you agree? We're all in it for the long-term passive residual income. And so I got super excited because when I found out, one, where my check was, because I didn't know how to read my commission statement, and I didn't even know where it was. So last September, Tara Postavac made me call Tiffany Layton and find out where my commission statement was, because I really did not know where it was. I found it, and I found out that my retention was super, super high. I'd written over 1,000 personal memberships, one-on-one, no group, just individuals recruiting and selling memberships. But the team has written over 20,000. And so the nice combination of both of those with high retention means that we're able to enjoy a $7,000 to $8,000 a month residual income once our 6 months, once our debit balance gets paid out. And so that's really exciting to know that what you're working for now is going to pay you forever. And that's a lot of money in the bank that you're going to have to be able to do that. And so we're going to talk to you about some retention tips here, because 10% increase in your retention rates of memberships sold, you and your organization will have a 35% increase on your commission income on the back end. And so we're going to talk to you about a few things real quickly about how to increase your retention. So if you guys are ready, say I'm ready. Ready. All right, so we're going to click once, click twice. So first thing is under promise, over deliver. I often just sell membership on the first area of coverage, unlimited telephone consultation. Hello, for about $3 to $4 a year, which is basically 1 hour in an attorney's time, you can talk unlimitedly on personal or business. It's a pretty good deal. I don't think we need to, often go much more than that, because if smart people get it. If you've ever used an attorney before, you know they're expensive, and to be able to have access like that is incredible. Is it perfect? No. But nothing's perfect. Your cell phone drops on an important call, doesn't mean you're going to throw the cell phone out the window and say, I'm never using one of those again, right? Because the alternative is a phone, if you can find it, a phone booth, And the alternative here is finding basically the phone book at $300, $400, $500 an hour. And so I get excited about this because if we underpromise and over-deliver, let the attorneys over-deliver, they're going to stay on the books a lot longer. How many will know that you've had members that have been really tickled about how the services work? And so if you don't know if it covers something, that's a great time to do a three-way phone call, right? Like, that's a good question. So don't ever make stuff up and think that you know what's going on. Never sell a 911 membership. It was interesting. Somebody called me and said, hey, I need to get a nastygram written on my business to be able to you know, get a client to pay, and then I can cancel, right? And I said, no, I mean, technically, yeah, you can, but I'm not selling it to you. And he said, why? I said, if you don't see the value of having this membership for basically $1 a day, long term, I'm not going to sell you membership. And that was pretty good posture, because he was like, what? And I said, yeah, for unlimited telephone consultation, document review, letters, phone calls, getting your wills done. I mean, if you don't see the value in that long term, I'm in it for the long time, which is passive residual income, then I'm not going to sell you a membership. It's no big deal to me. I don't need your business. He was like, really? He's like, all right, let me take a look at this again. So he went and looked at the website again, and I could see he looked at it. We talked again, and he got a membership, and he said, and he got more excited and more excited and more excited. But if I had just sold it to him as a 911 and didn't understand the value of it, he'd have canceled. And I'm not saying he's still maybe not going to cancel, but at least now I did my due diligence and I was comfortable selling him the membership. No membership leads. On our team, sort of the rule of thumb is if you're a manager and above and you want more people to talk to, you can buy business opportunity leads, but no membership leads. None. Those are people that are, again, 911 looking to handle an issue, and once they do, they're going to cancel the membership. So no membership leads. Oh my word, we got creamed one time. We had an organization that did all prepaid cards, and I didn't know because for a long time you could never use a prepaid card because the system would kick it out. It would know it was a prepaid card and it wouldn't even let you put it in anymore. But now with so many, there's the green one and there's these other ones. There's no way for the system now to know if it's a prepaid card or not. And so once I caught on that this was prepaid cards, it was like too late because they weren't charging up their cards at the end of every single month. And he said, well, listen, this is how all my boys, if you will, pay all their bills is through these prepaid cards. And truly, I mean, we got creamed. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever been creamed before in your business, but you get creamed. And it wasn't so much our organization, it was the ED right underneath me that probably didn't see money for a good couple of months because he was so far in charge back hell because of that. So if you just write good business and don't write prepaid cards, you're going to do a lot better off. If you want to sell them 6 months or a year at a time, I much prefer that over anything that's a prepaid card. Bank draft whenever possible, only because if you think about it, people don't change their checking account very often, but often their credit cards expired. And so my husband, before we were married, I sold him a membership and recruited him so they did not make him give up his membership or associate spot. Now that we're married, you cannot sell a married person a membership, you know what I mean, because it's stacking, it's illegal, it's a pyramid scheme if we can do that. But at the time, it was just my boyfriend, and he had a credit card on it, and I don't check my pre-cancel enough, and he almost canceled out, well, he canceled out of his membership. Luckily, he didn't cancel out of his associate agreement because it didn't go out long enough, so we were able to reinstate it. He was like, how come you didn't look? I'm like, oh no. So this happens to my, husband, who's not my husband. I wasn't paying attention. So it happens, right? So got to really pay attention when bank draft whenever possible. You want to encourage usage of the membership. Just make sure that they use it. One of the great things to do if you're, marketing a membership right then and there is dial the law firm's number and hand them the phone. They get one complimentary consultation call where they're waiting for their membership to process. So if they have a pressing question right now, you could dial it right now and hand them the phone. That's going to really help it. As long as it's not reinstated? Okay, good to know. As long as it's not reinstated. I use Build Lasting Success for everything, for my database, for my member or my auto responders on there. They have one for members, so you could put a member in there, and I put all my members in there. It really helps them to keep getting a little reminder, at least for a few weeks, if you will, on that, and it's totally duplicatable. I always write a handwritten thank you note to every single one of my members and or associates. Just truly, I think that gives it the human touch. And I write a lot of memberships that are long distance because I get referrals a lot of times. And so they need to know who you are more than just a website. So I always write a thank you note, usually slip in there how to use your DVD. So I like to give them stuff, like how to use your membership, CD, maybe a private business reception DVD, a Balance the Power DVD,